Hey guys, welcome back to Yoga with Leona, your site for everything about yoga and breast cancer recovery. I'm excited to share with you today a tutorial about shoulder stand. So if you've been practicing with us for a little while, you'll know that the most of our videos are in the Y for C or Yoga for Cancer methodology. And these videos are designed to be accessible to everyone. So beginners, advanced students, intermediate, everything in between. And no matter where you are in your breast cancer recovery, you should be able to do all of our Y4C practices. And so you'll know that primarily for our inversion and our Y4C practices, I usually give you a pretty gentle inversion as the main option. So often we use supported shoulder stand where we put a block under our sacrum and take our legs up into the air. And this is a great inversion. It's very relaxing and gets all the benefits of an inversion in terms of getting your legs up in the air, turning your circulatory system upside down, getting that blood return back down into your body, and so it's very relaxing in that way. But if you've been practicing a while and you want to start learning how to get into some more challenging inversions that are not only going to give you those benefits, but are also going to start building core strength, getting a little more flexibility and strength through your neck and shoulders, then shoulder stand might be a great place to start. Shoulder stand's an intermediate inversion, so it's actually not as hard as you might think. So I'm going to show you today a couple of options on ways to get into it as you're working up to it. So let's get started. The main precaution about shoulder stand is it is a deep forward flexion of your neck. So if you have severe osteoporosis, shoulder stand might not be a good idea for you because you are putting a lot of flexion into your neck. So if you've got really bad osteoporosis or you've got bad neck problems, then you might want to sit this one out and just take the relaxing version, supported shoulder stand. If your neck's okay, however, let's get into it. So back to the neck just for a moment. Once you get up into any version of shoulder stand, you've got that little bit of flexion of your neck. The first rule is never turn your head side to side. So once you're up into your shoulder stand, don't turn your head to the side to look at the camera or whatever, because that puts unusual strain and sort of a twisting strain on your neck. So you always want to keep your neck straight once you get that forward flexion of the neck. All right, so that's the main precaution. The rest of it really is just practice, like everything. So I'm going to show you, first of all, let me show you the supported version that we typically do. So remember, the supported version is we lie on our backs, we take a yoga block or a folded blanket, and we slide it right under our sacrum. And we want to make sure the block is under the sacrum and not under the low back. And then we just roll our legs right up into the sky. So you can see here this beautiful inversion, nice and relaxing, getting all that blood return from the legs. All right, but if you want to keep going, then let me show you the first way to start to practice shoulder stand. So that's using a wall. That's why I'm up against the end of the bar here. So you're going to slide your bum pretty close to the wall, and then you're going to roll around onto your back, kind of like you're getting ready for legs up the wall. But this time, instead of just chilling here, legs up the wall, we're going to use the wall to push ourselves up into shoulder stand. So you want to bring your hands to the floor beside your hips. You're going to take your feet a little higher than your knees. So see how they're not a 90-degree angle, the feet are a little higher. And then you're going to just push with your feet and push your hips up into the sky. So you can see I'm getting into that deep flexion of my neck here. As you push your hips up, if you can shimmy your shoulders together underneath your back, you're going to do a little bit better with your shoulder stand. Now, if you're up here and this feels okay, you bring your hands to support your low back. I'm trying to get my shirt out of the way so you can see the hands. All right, and then you want your hands flat on your back, down along your sacrum. And then when you're here, you can slowly push one leg up to the sky at a time. If that's all feeling fine, then maybe eventually you take both legs up and you're pushing yourself up using your hands at your sacrum. However, if you're not quite ready to push all the way up yet, just stay here, work on the strength through your shoulders, eventually working on core strength. And when you're ready, you just roll yourself down and rest. All right, so that's the introductory version of shoulder stand, using the wall as support. I better separate these two cats. All right, Bato, how about you go inside? Come on, real quick, go inside. All right, cat crisis averted. All right, so once you've practiced it at the wall and you're feeling sort of comfortable and you feel like you're building some core strength, then you're ready to try rolling up into shoulder stand without the wall using just your core strength. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so this is the traditional way to enter shoulder stand. So from lying flat on the floor, you bring your hands to the floor alongside your hips. You're going to use a little pressure into those hands as you pull your knees up and roll your hips up, shimmying the shoulders together again under your back. If you've got the hamstring flexibility, you can come all the way into plow pose. This is called plow pose, where the legs stretch up and above. But if your hamstrings are pretty tight, you may need to keep your knees bent. Now once you're here for a breath or two, shimmy those shoulders together, and then again, bring those hands to your low back, and then you can bring one leg up at a time, coming up into shoulder stand. Now, one of the tricks to shoulder stand is the closer you can get your elbows together behind your back, the better your support is going to be. Eventually, you want your shoulder stand to be straight up and down, just like a candlestick, as straight as you could be, all the way from your shoulders to your toes. Mine's still got a little bit of curve in it, so I'm working on it. But we engage our core, we push our hips up and stretch those feet up into the sky. Shoulder stand. So then you stay here as long as it's comfortable, maybe 10 breaths if you can do it. If you need to go down sooner, no problem. Once you're up in shoulder stand, you could play with the legs a little if you want. You could take some different shapes with your legs. Eventually, practicing getting legs into a lotus or different things like that. But if you're just working on it, just keep those legs straight to the sky. And when you're ready to come out, you come out again through plow, so you let the legs fall down and over top of your head. If it feels good to you, you can bend your knees and really stretch your back here. And then you use your hands like a brake and slowly, slowly roll your body down to the floor. Rest for a breath or two here. And then remember, when we have that deep forward flexion of our neck, we need to reverse it and give our neck the opposite stretch afterwards. So we come to fish pose. So for fish pose, you rise up onto your elbows. Legs can stay bent or be flat, whatever you want. You slowly let your neck stretch backwards to release all that tension in the neck from your deep forward bend of the neck and shoulder stand. Now, if this feels okay to you, you can push into your elbows and gently slide your head back until the crown of the head touches the floor. This is fish pose. Beautiful opening of that front side of the neck, reversing that deep forward stretch that we got from shoulder stand. All right, and then you lift up and roll down to rest. All right, so that's shoulder stand. So if you're going along with us and you're doing the Y4C practices and you feel like you're ready to add a little bit more strengthening to the inversion part of those practices, you can always just take whatever version of shoulder stand you like. If I offer you just the relaxing supported version in the video practice, but you know you're able to start working up to it, feel free to take that yourself. So you make your practice your own and you can start building that strength as your body tells you it's ready. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Shoulder stand, remember, be patient with yourself, take it easy, move forward just as your body feels like it's ready. And let me know if you have any problems or questions, if there's any trouble getting into it or you're looking for other tips or tricks. All right, wonderful having you here. Good luck with your shoulder stand. Namaste.